What's going on, brother? What's going on?
Hey, what's up, baby boy? What's up, nephew?
Ain't too much, man. Different day, different day. Trying to make it, fam. Trying to make it, man. Hey, what do you
Man,
think?
this the
What do
first.
you think some of that best Mayday stuff is right about now, man?
I think the best man stuff out there got all kind of shit with it.
Like other
Man, dude,
lines?
I'm telling you, here's the crazy thing. You know, this is with the night vision. Okay, historical purposes with the vision.
Mhm.
There's a lot of Mayday. There's a few Mayday dogs out there that walk them all crosses with Mayday and winning champions, couple
Yeah,
3 time winners. I mean, it works. And that's the thing that my nephew has had one, bro. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
He made champion with his, and his was double bred Luke Kane, but it had more. It was crossed on the top and the bottom with Walkmore dogs. Even splitters. I sent you a pedigree today, man. I thought I was sending it to your phone.
I didn't get it.
Yeah. See, I must have the wrong number. But I
That's
should have. I
probably my
don't
old.
have your.
I'll probably give you my new number.
Yeah. So I sent you a bunch of shit, man. Cause I be catching your shows late, and tonight I was like, I'm gonna catch him tonight. Cause I be checking your shit out, man. And you be asking some good questions. I'd just be surprised that that some of those, there's some bulldog man in there. They just don't be stepping up saying nothing like you said earlier. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Right. Yeah, Mayday dogs have changed, but they're changing because you're finding them in other crosses that the dogs are working.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I seen the dog I seen the dog the heartbeat. I mean I seen the dog I seen Hawk beat a dog, and then I seen Hawk lose. And then the dog to beat Hawk, I seen him lose. You see what I'm saying?
Yep, yep.
So
Well,
and these were all
Hawk,
4 time winners and grand champions.
Hawk was a Mayday dog.
Huh?
Hawk was a
Hawk,
Mayday dog.
Hawk had Mayday in him, and the dog that beat Hawk didn't have Mayday in him, but the dog that beat Hawk had Mayday in him.
Damn.
Yeah, it was this he was a good one. Now remember, Hawk was the dog of the year.
Yeah.
Buck Buck beat him, and then Buck Buck went into another Buck Buck. Okay, both of
Damn.
them 4 time winners. Both of them 4 time winners. Both of them named Buck Buck.
Damn.
Yep, and the Buck Buck that had the Mayday and he won. About hour 20, it was over.
Damn.
But he had Mayday in him, and every one of these dogs are bred good. King of Kings, Buck Buck. Google it. King of Kings, Buck Buck.
But they got something else in them too.
Oh yeah, they got something else. That's what I'm saying. The crosses. When you ask me about, are they looking different? Yeah, they're looking different because they're not being inbred.
Yeah, yeah. Gotcha. Like that's like
Those black Mayday dogs. My nephew, right?
mm,
His Mayday Walkmore dog is black. Hear me?
yeah,
Black. I'm trying to tell you. And I'm not a fan of black dogs, but I picked that puppy out for him. Just
that
because the way he was bred, but the way he act, even though he was a black dog, when you deal with Mayday dogs as much as I have, there's
yeah.
a craziness about them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They ain't like those. They really ain't like the normal yellow dogs. There's something. Mayday dogs are like Malinois to me,
Yeah,
and you know what I'm talking about.
yeah.
Chew on everything. Can't
Mhm.
shut up. Got to be on the move all the time.
Yep.
And I seen that in that black dog as a puppy. And know what his name was?
What
Know what his
that?
name is? Yellow Dog.
Damn.
His name is Yellow Dog. Pedigree out there. His name is Yellow Dog, but he is a black dog. heavy Walkmore, heavy Mayday. But he got the top half of the Patrick's Homer. That's where the black came from.
Mm.
And he was a bad motherfucker. But the reason why I picked him because he acted like the Mayday dog, even though he was black. And I told my nephew, I said, I never been a fan of the black bean. You got all those other nice big ones in there. But I'm telling you, man, that one right there gonna be special. Just because he act like them and he black.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he turned out to be a champion. And he got, and I'm telling you, he got a lot of Walkmore in him, and he got a lot of Luke Cane in him. He's double bred Luke Cane and double and down to triple bred Walkmore.
That. Nah, them boys had black Walkmore dogs before they got their dogs taken when they went into their pallet and stuff, and they start crossing their back after they bred it to that, and then they would start going back into their dogs, but they kept it. The black stuff kept showing back up, still showing up, and shit. Yeah, black dogs that was pretty much bred all the way back down to a pure line or 100% line, not a pure line, but a 100% line, and they was black.
Yeah. And if we go back a little further, we'll see back in the day, man, they used to cross yellow with them Eli dogs. And there's several great dogs out there bred like that. You don't see them, you see far and few, but you go back there, you will find Yellow and Eli being bred, man, and they was doing it way back then.
So let me ask you, Twin, because my man asked me and I couldn't really answer the question, man. You might be doing how can you preserve this breed if we trying to go by the laws? How can you preserve it as far as breeding wise and breed best to the best when we trying to go by certain situations? Is it another way you can, I don't know. I felt like I couldn't answer that. I didn't have an answer for it.
Hey fam, let me tell you like this, man. I'm gonna put it to you just like this. You probably would get a better answer from Mike. Cause me, okay, you know what I'm saying? I'm on that bus.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And I refuse to get off the bus because, like you said, I can't fathom it. And why must I think about it when there's night vision?
Yeah.
They can't never stop you. It's like selling drugs. You're gonna, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they wish they can cut it off, but they can't cut the faucet off.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you may not have as many out there because of Facebook and all this other stuff, you know what I'm saying? A lot of it can be killed off because, now it's more of a money thing with the great ones, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
It's not even wise to play out there and take big chances unless it's for the money. And so the game today is, illegal, but it's illegal because of the money. That's why it's getting so bad. Because, most of the time it's a bus and drugs.
Yep. You're right about that. You're right about
that.
You
see what I'm saying? So it's like, that's why you got champions constantly. That's why you got champions constantly losing. You never seen so many champions lose. You know what I'm saying? It ain't safe to have a champion around. You know what I mean? So the game has changed, but because of that reason there, and like I was saying about the Walkmore Mayday stuff that you would never really kind of imagine, and being black too. You back in my time, it would have been unheard of.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But as time went on, you wouldn't find that motherfucker running around on Facebook because you're too busy playing in the dark. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
And if there was anything to be able to take and move forward with, I'd rather go that route. Give a damn. You know what I mean? About the other stuff and the look and all that stuff that, motherfucker probably jump up there and climb the wall. I can get with that. He can get out there and have confirmation. I can get with all that. but that is called an American Pit Bull.
Yeah.
Okay, that's just
Yeah.
being real. Because the
Oh,
American
yeah.
Pit Bull, you know, if you want to take that part out, then you need to take the pit out of it, because the American Pit Bull is a pit dog.
Yeah, I agree with you with that.
You know
I
what I'm
agree with
saying?
you. Got to
So
call them something else. You got to call them something else.
you call it something else, right? And that might help if you start calling it something else. Because as long as we continue saying American Pit Bull, you know, to a real dogger who's done it and felt it and knows, you know, what we put into it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And the history that was built can be just beat down to like it wasn't even shit by the time it gets to y'all, because there's so much that has changed and been accepted that wouldn't have been accepted in our time.
Mm-hmm. You're right
You know
about
what I
that.
mean?
Yep. You're right about that, bro.
So you know, Mike, you know, Mike, he's a fan of moving forward. But Mike, that's why we're twins, but we're different. You know,
Oh
Mike,
yeah.
you my second. That means I stayed dirty. You stood around and looked dirty. Okay? So my attitude is totally different than his.
Hey,
You know,
that's how
you
it is.
can still get the game just all of this, and it can still be able to, but for who though? Because
Yeah.
one thing he says that makes sense. Why does it even matter if the dogs that you're trying to create has no purpose of that of a pit bull?
Yeah.
That's not what you doing him for, or breeding for no more. Breeding
Yeah.
for some other shit. So you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Why should a pedigree matter?
Hey,
How
you
you breed? If the purpose is not the same purpose, we got all these champions bred back behind the line. But okay, so you got the breeding. So, but for what? This dog was bred like that for a purpose. What
mm-hmm.
is your purpose with that? To see a pretty pedigree and to be able to brag about the dog, but nowhere in there is it has anything to do with the preservation, because this motherfucker ain't being tested.
Yep.
He ain't doing nothing in his pedigree was out there doing to even have such a name that he was able to be produced off the shit. But he's not doing that. He's
Now,
living off of that.
let me ask you this. You know, we always came up with this saying, you ain't gonna get rich off pit bulls. But has it changed now to where these young brothers can get rich off pit bulls?
Hell yeah. Well, man,
Because you know, we always
hell
heard
yeah.
rich off pits.
But
You know,
they're not getting rich. They're not getting rich selling dogs.
yeah,
That's the problem. You understand what I'm saying?
yeah,
They're not
yeah.
getting rich selling dogs. I mean, that night vision, Annie Ann, don't come to the light. You know what I'm saying? If you can't see in the dark, don't go down in the basement.
Yes, sir. Don't go in the
But you
basement.
can see in the dark. That basement is, yes, they're making, look, historically speaking, don't know when, where, and how. Just gonna keep it real.
Mm-hmm.
When a lot of guys can't do like the old school used to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
These days, you got sharks out here that posses up like a school of sharks with a bunch of money. And they jump on these bandwagons and they go hunting.
mm-hmm.
That's why you got so many champions losing. But you ought to see the price tag that they losing. You understand what
And
I'm
that price
saying?
tag will trick you and make you think that they got the best dog in the world.
You can't tell the truth. Tell the truth. I'm
And
trying to tell you.
you be like, damn, well, I don't know if I want to get on the boy. I want to do 50 on that thing. And he a
And,
5 minute
and,
curve.
and guess what? Guess what? All the money in the world don't make that motherfucker a bad motherfucker. I'm trying to
Nope.
tell you. That's in your sight. Your pockets is that deep that you want to come and see. You know what I'm saying? That's why all these champions, 4-time winners trying to get grand champion, ain't getting it.
Yep. I ain't getting it. I used to hate,
Now
man.
you
I
got a
had
bunch
friends.
of champions running around 4-time winners with losses. One dog of the decade. The dog that beat Buck that beat Hawk was dog of the decade since Hawk was dog of the year. You see what I'm saying? Now what they gonna call the dog to beat Buck? You know what I mean? What they gonna call the new Buck to beat him? All champions beating each other.
Yep.
But the money, when we talk about the money, ain't no normal dog man doing that. The game is by only for few, and those few are so it can't be nothing but the money to keep them doing it. Like the drugs, you know what I'm saying? Why we keep finding all these dogs that's being raided related to a big ass drug deal or drug case.
Yep. You ain't
They
heard
ain't
that?
shooting crap. They ain't shooting crap no more. They ain't shooting crap no more, bro.
No,
They doing dogs.
Yep.
So yes, they're gonna be. You know, if I'm gonna be looking, I'm gonna be nosing around where you know I got where the light is, because that's one thing they can't change, and it'll never happen. They can continue to try hard, but it's like the dope game. It's like the gun game. You can put dents in it, but you can never stop it. I've been out of the game for years, and a lot has changed. But one thing that didn't change, the basement. It got fewer,
Yeah.
but it still exists.
Oh
It
yeah.
still exists. And you know, there's still greatness because it's still somebody putting shit together. And you won't see these guys on Facebook. You won't see these pedigrees when you see these champions that I'm pointing out. You know what I'm saying? That you can go look at, like I do a few of them on the show. If you're paying attention to what I'm doing, I'm showing you what's there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Some brothers don't pay attention, man. They don't catch
They
on
don't.
certain ways.
They be missing it. I'm not going to just sit up there and blah, but I show you that it still exists. Everybody be jocking that pit island stuff, and I have to. The reason why I be trying to get to you is because you be missing so much about the Walk'em dogs. You know, I know. You know, you always heard me say something about them, but you never heard me say the good shit.
Yeah.
We never got to the good shit. You see what I'm saying? There's more good shit. I never said I didn't use it. You're gonna see winners with cross with our dogs and walk them all. I'm talking about off of Little John.
Yeah.
We have winners. You see what I'm saying? Shit. Why would I go and use a black Walk'em dog, bro, as a puppy and give it to my nephew? For real.
Shit. Damn.
You know, it really wasn't a joke. Man, I'm telling you, hold on to that, man. You know what I'm saying? Because there's something that works about it.
Yeah.
You know, and there's another thing that I sent you. I'm gonna send you again before I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna give it to you, and you tell me what you want to do with it. Because like we was talking earlier about how everybody, when them dogs gone, and these dogs still be being bred and produced, right?
Yep.
There's man, look, there's evidence out there on all of them. All of them. When I say all of them, I'm telling you, man, that includes everybody. And what I sent you, gonna trip you out. Because remember, I bred to Little John.
Yep. Yep.
And the reason why I didn't breed to Big John, because that's who I was supposed to be breeding to. By the time my bitch came in heat, he had got stolen.
Yeah.
So that's why I ended up breeding the Little John. Now, keep in mind, I did not see Big John, right? You know
Yeah.
when I made that breeding? Was in May of 2000, bro.
Damn.
May of 2000 when I bred the Little John. So that means Big John was gone in 2000 and earlier.
Yeah,
So we shouldn't have no puppies coming off of Big John in 2002.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you now. Them boys say they had sperm off of them.
But that's what. But here's my thing. Do you think after talking to Mr. Walkmall, right, all them years, when you remember, I had to talk to this man to get to one. Remember, I went after Big John because of Mayday. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm talking to the man.
Oh yeah.
Now, if I get there and he can't do nothing to help me, and I know he AI, when you go and breed to him, sometimes he'll AI your dog. He'll leave Big John and Little John there in the back and go and pull the sperm and bring it up to you and do it up there in the front. Yeah, he used to do that. That's how Big John got stolen.
Yeah,
he was he was breeding. Yeah.
They always had
it happened. Yeah, it happened during him AI and a breeding. One minute he go out and pull a straw, put some shit. Next minute he go back and he gone. Couple of them, right? 2 or 3 of them. We thought the dudes who bought the dog had something to do with it.
Yeah.
But me, I gotta see mine. Once I see the first one, then you can do whatever with the second one. So that means if you gotta go in the backyard and bring him up to the front, let's get it.
Mm-hmm.
He tried that with me, and I just told him, no, I gotta see it first. We can do whatever we want to do after that, but I want to see it right here first. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, yeah.
And if he had sperm on Big John, he must have started, again, if he had sperm on Big John, I would have paid for that.
Now, I'm telling you like this.
But it was never mentioned. It never spoke of. But he was very upset that he was gone. He talked a lot of shit about it.
Oh,
but, and I made a comment several times because I didn't know really much about Lil John. You know what I'm saying?
I remember, man, when it happened. I wasn't at the house. I remember when we was in the projects, them boys came through. The old man and Sonny came through, giving out rewards for looking for the dog. Said it just had happened. You know what I'm saying? Them boys was talking about $20,000 and stuff like that. Man, big reward. Was pissed off.
You gonna shut up?
Now, when it comes to the sperm, one thing I will say about that, they always had to get the sperm on Big John. They always had to get them. They could never breed them. They always had to pull sperm from them. So I always gave it the benefit of the doubt on that situation. I actually was gonna breed the dog that I got now with some Big John sperm, but the old man ain't really want to do it. I don't know if it is or if it ain't. You know what I'm saying? But
right, but that's my question to you. Okay, this dog is off of Big John. Now, if he got a DNA specimen, if he DNA profile, to me, that does not mean
none of their dogs gonna be DNA profile probably because they ain't dealing with through ADBA, they dealing with bona fide.
Okay, but check this out though. There's a guy out there, right?
Yeah.
Got one of them champions, Walkmall champions, that he has a DNA profile. And this dog is supposed to be off of Lil John, but his birthday was 2002. So my question was, hey man, if they had sperm off of Big John, and the only reason I kind of felt like I doubted it is because, like you said, I knew about the AI and how he got stolen, and then how he wanted to do me with Little John. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to do the AI, but I didn't want to do the AI first time bringing my bitch. You know what I'm saying? No, we're going to stand here and bring him up to the front.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, anything after that, fine. But I'm going to see this breeding.
He said
for sure.
He said he came to the front yard and did the breeding.
Yeah. Yeah. But at first he wanted to AI it, and I told him no.
You wanted a natural stick.
Right. I want
Yeah.
to see it.
Yeah.
I want to see where that sperm coming from. I want to see the breeding. That's why I told him that's why I came.
Yeah, I don't think none of their dogs DNA profile when it comes to that.
Okay, well, this dude, he got that Walkmore champion DNA profile set at the ADBA, and then at the same time, when he say it, I'm thinking, and you got him off of Little John, but you got his birthday in 2002. You know what I'm saying? And we talking about a time that I was pretty familiar with what was going on. So my thing was to people, look, don't get caught up in the DNA profile, because the dog could still have a DNA profile with ADBA. You know
now
what I'm saying?
when it come to that, he might got his dog DNA profile, but he ain't got a DNA profile of Little John, because Little John ain't
Thank
DNA
you.
profile.
Exactly, because that's exactly,
None
you're
of
right.
the dog's DNA profile.
Right,
Now,
right. I'm gonna tell you what the DNA was able to prove, though.
yeah,
The DNA was able to prove when we did it with Maytu, right?
huh?
The DNA was able to prove that Brat and Maytu had the same sire.
Yeah.
That's all. Didn't say they came off of Mayday. All it says, it was able to say, was Maytu and Brat had the same father. That's the
Yeah.
only profile it could tell me if it was off of Mayday. But one thing for damn sure, I know Brat was off of Mayday. I always wondered about the Maytu because it took us over a year to get it done. And Victor had Brat. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
when he left Miami, he took Brat with him
Mm-hmm.
because he didn't get it right the first time. So I let him take her, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But, I'm noticing 13 people included didn't have no puppies before he left.
Now I got a dog. I had my last dog that I had off Big John was in 2012. He was off, and
Wow.
that was a female that I had off Big John, directly off Big John, 2012.
Imagine how old that dog was. Because the champion, he is pretty old now. He's pretty old. You can see that he's old. He's an older dog, and he was off of Big John. But my thing was the birthday. Now, and nobody's ever said, not even Walkmore has ever made a comment that, that Big John had sperm. Being they was collecting it and the way they was breeding the dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now
You would think
he
that
told
they
me.
might have had a sperm bank, but back then, really, we didn't know nothing about the sperm bank, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of us old dog man, and I'm talking about breeders. Who was trying, well, Walkmore breed, they said to do they shit. Come on.
Yeah.
That's a total different than a motherfucker just sitting there breeding dogs to sell dogs,
Mm-hmm.
Now, even knowing that, do you know if we would have had that kind of thinking going on in our yards, what kind of dogs we would have for real, for real?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
wasn't one of those things that was right there for us to do, or it was out of reach.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because our dogs are be so scarred up. Who's going to do that and not tell on you?
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So first you got to find a place to do it. Then you got to find a place that's going to do it and store it. But the whole time they got to look at your shit. It ain't like you can go outside to the car and pull something and run back in. They ain't don't work like that. They gonna do it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what vet or collection gonna do that without getting you in trouble? And you're only doing it with a motherfucker that you know that's work getting it done. You know what I'm saying? And you out there to put the work in, you ain't looking too pretty, especially as the older you get. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just hard to sit there and tell me that that they had that access and we not know it. Not know 20 years later, 10 years later, now all of a sudden got the goddamn sperm popping up everywhere. you know, and make you question that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Now I always said, now if there wasn't no Big John sperm, it was coming down off of one of his sons or something. I always say that, you know, people I talk to, far as, you know, when they come up with that, far as saying it ain't off Big John. You know, one thing
There
I
was
do,
didn't he have a Big John Jr., Big John 2?
Big John 2, 3, and 4.
Okay, that goddamn Big John 2, you would have swore that was Big John.
Big John 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, that Big John 2, I saw him when I was there. I seen him, and he looked like Big John. He showed me pictures of Big John. I'm talking about nice pictures of him. And he was talking about how that Big John 2 dog looked just like his daddy.
Yeah.
You know, and he was like he showed them to me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I was there to breed to a champion. You know what I mean? I was there to breed to a champion, and Lil John was the only male champion on the yard after Big John.
You say he
So
was?
he was the only champion male on the yard at the time
Uh-oh.
after Big John was taken.
Oh yeah. Now I
Yeah.
think I ain't sure exactly how long it was after he got taken, but I know Crazy Eyes made champion, Cyclone.
Yeah, but they made it later on. Like, remember, I did mine in 2000.
Yeah.
Remember 2000, it was Big John and Lil John.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Am I right?
I think Little John died like in early 2000s, probably like 05, 06, somewhere in there, 04, 05,
Yeah,
somewhere.
yeah.
If I am mistaken, I ain't sure though.
Yeah, I bred the Little John in 2000. Actually, the puppy was born in July
And
of 2000.
you didn't like that little?
The only dog that quit in the litter was a male. The Little May sisters that I did send out, man, they all produced winners. There was really 2 of them. They didn't really. It basically, the shit that you say about what you was running into,
Yeah.
right? I'm telling you, man, if there's nobody believe you, I do, because I know exactly what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah.
Sure do. All the bad shit that came along with it. And here's the thing, bro. I bred Sassy Girl to Lil John. Sassy Girl.
Right.
You know, and that's Buck Rogers and Bebe and all the motherfuckers' mama. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So the bitches produced. The bitches produce winners. And you're gonna see when you look at the pedigree, you're gonna see how, you know, you're gonna see a trend. That, you know what? When you start looking around, you're gonna notice not the Pit Island shit and all that everybody doing that shit over there. No, the ones that was working was them night vision. Them boys that got that vision of the night.
Yeah.
They was crossing it with Mayday. You're gonna see Mayday. You're gonna see Macho Buck. You're gonna see Airtight Matey cross with it. And I'm talking about not just one. I'm talking about a line bred Walkmore dog.
Yeah. And I think
You know,
that Macho Buck be adding some good stuff into them dogs when it cross the right ways too.
well, and that is because the Walkmore stuff with the Macho Buck stuff. Macho Buck is supposed to work because it's supposed to be right. It's right off of Mayday and Blondie. Blondie was Yellow Buck's little man's sister, so that says Blondie was right off of Grand Champion Buck.
Yeah.
And Mayday was right off of Grand Champion Yellow. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
My dogs, when if I'm claiming to be the first, which trust me, I am. When I cross my Mayday stuff to Stone City stuff, that's where Bebe and Buck Rogers and all that line of dogs came from. Yeah, I had better dogs than the actual breeding with Mayday being bred to Blondie.
Dang.
All we talk about is um we talk about Macho Buck, but even Sir Kell produced better dogs than those dogs, the Macho Buck dogs. Sir Kell herself, and she was off of Yellow Buck and Miss Nico, and Sir Kell was also the litter mate to the father to Baby and Buck Rogers in them. So there
Dang.
was off of Yellow Buck and Miss Nico. So with us playing with that line of dogs, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Chico and Evolution playing the games that they played. You made a comment in one of your shows when you had a question about them dogs of the year,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wish I was with you live so I could have told you how real and right you were and give you the background to giving you that to really solidify what you really was saying. You see, you didn't solidify. You was thinking and guessing. It
Yeah.
could be. It
Yeah.
must have been. Well,
Yeah.
let me fill you in. Let me fill y'all in. Ward Kennels is the guy who bought the journal from Victor.
Yeah.
You will find Word Kennels in your upfield with the Walkmore dog because he started incorporating his Walkmore dogs, and him and Natural Born Kennels got together and started crossing that shit with Spartacus. You know what I'm saying? With the
Mm-hmm.
Lucan stuff, and that's where that champion came from that we got. Now keep in mind, 2003, he gets busted up in Pennsylvania at a match.
Mm.
Okay, that's 2003. What happens at the end of 2003, they raid his house in New York. They
Yeah.
raided him.
And Crossroad told me that. Crossroad told me that, and that's exactly the timing that he told me that. Exactly when you said 2003, because Sambo was in that 2002, 2003, 4 era, and
That's right.
that's exactly when he told me about. He was. I don't remember exactly how he said it, but I remember Busted. I remember Dog Journal, and I remember something about New
Yep.
York. Something about New York City. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was the one that was, even though Jack was still controlling the OM and the the OMs and the dog of the year. Jack was still running that. But he gave Word Kennels the option to, pick his dog of the year, his choices. He gave that to him. So in 2003, before Jack gave it to him, this is what happened. 2003, he got busted in PA. You in PA, but you from New York. You don't think they're going to come down to your shit and you got kind of the dog fight in a fight?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, they made it to New York and they hit his crib. And when they hit his crib, he had all 5,000 subscribers in the journal, all the matches, everything that had things to do with the journal. They took that information and they went down and hit Jack's house.
Damn.
Yeah. See, Jack was able to get out of it because regardless of what they found, we're protected under the First Amendment. That's why I was telling everybody about, hey, they couldn't do shit with the journal. Even though this dude was the owner and the editor of the Sporting Dog Journal. And they raided it and took all that information. The man was still able to keep the journal going, was he not?
Yep. He still kept it.
After all that, the Department of Agriculture went through everything that they got, and they have database every match, every kennel, every dog, and every journal ever done.
Damn.
They was able to go, in my case, they were able to pull up every match, whether I handle, referee, just the name, GHK Twin, GHK2. They had the whole thing in every journal that I was ever in. And guess what? Judge told him didn't mean shit to him. You ain't can't use it. They
Wow.
tried to use it in my trial. They even went to the ADBA. Yeah, they went to WBA and sent all my dogs that I had registered. It got subpoenaed. Again, judge said, you want to use that? And we got all these show tags, I'm telling the judge, look, yeah, they got ADBA. Yeah, those are all my dogs. But look at the show tags. The ADBA made damn sure that they made clear that those dogs was registered under confirmation weight pool cards. I had all of them on that shit.
So they did what they were supposed to do.
They did what they were supposed to do. And the judge kicked out the journal because it's protected, regardless of what's in it. Do you got anybody can verify any of this shit? You got anybody we can put on the stand to verify it?
Mm-hmm.
We need somebody, not this dude going in here giving a classroom about the journal and how it worked.
Yeah, yeah.
And the people involved in it, and this guy's in it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
No, we ain't doing that because, first of all, it's a publication. Remember, I was my own lawyer. You think a lawyer would have did that for me? Most of them damn lawyers, if you're trying to be dog man, lawyers don't know shit about the dog to be a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
They deal with criminals.
Yep.
I deal with dogs. Fuck that. I mean, I had 6 lawyers by the time I made it to trial, and it still ended up representing myself. No, you got to know the law. You can't use the journal. Any other lawyer, they would have had the journal all up in there. Why do you think the dude with work kennels was able to keep the journal going after all that? This is how these dogs became dog of the year. Evolution. Remember? Evolution. And what are they all? Ain't they all Latinos? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Evolution, Chico Lopez, Work Kennels. Remember, Work Kennels is the one that made Grand Champion Yellow Bucket Grand Champion. He lost with his 4-time winner, Champion Buster. 2 4-time winners going into each other. But look at all of them in cahoots.
Yep.
It's just funny. Did you notice how they all are in cahoots? Work Kennels gives Macho Buck Dog of the Year. How was that able to happen, Evolution? Oh, I can tell you how it happened. Evolution donated some money on that nigga keeping the journal open when he was begging everybody to come back.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Ding, 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 ding. That was the first thing you said that was correct. Yes.
I see the ship. That's why I was saying about Rampage and the ship dog, and they got another dog that just made dog of the year. I ain't gonna say he ain't good, but that's a coincidence that the same camp make dog of the year in a matter of 3 years with 2 different dogs. Especially how we knowing it's about money today. So I mean,
but the one thing about it, if you go and look at Macho, this is what was the standout. If you go look at Macho Buck's matches, and then go look at all the other dogs that was runner-ups under Macho Buck, it would be right there in your face, clear as day. That's some bullshit. Macho Buck didn't fight nothing nowhere close to these other dogs.
Damn.
And that's the proof. I mean, if you can read, you'll see the evidence. If you knew the story, it would start all coming together.
And what they say,
he was back on board.
What they say, he made in 1 year?
Yeah. And to be honest, I know Super Kennels, you know what I mean? I know Super Kennels. Remember, they got to stand behind Macho Buck because they offered 357. Okay? But there's a lot of Super Kennel guys, okay? And why only one can remember being a referee? They can't even remember. Most of the rest of them didn't ever remember the match.
Dang.
Okay, that's a question, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
So you got to stand behind 357. You have to understand 357 produced Macho Buck. So it's obvious that they're not. The Super Kennels is not going to say shit. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's obvious. And that was the thing. If you knew how evolution and them was operating, evolution, chosen few, you know what I mean? They come by many names, Chico Lopez, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
D-Town, Guzman. These are all the kennel names that they used. And it was all about selling dogs the whole time. Same thing with Chico. Chico took all those Mayday dogs and went to Mexico, made all this fabulous story to come back here and sell it to us. And because the game was so naive and so stuck on that the Mayday stuff and the Stone City stuff, that he did the evolution. Chico is a product of evolution. Chico used to be with evolution. They fell out, but Chico still learned a lot from evolution. He did the exact same thing the evolution was doing. Tell me one other person who's seen, ain't none of those dogs that Chico was talking about, all those champions and all that shit, ain't one of them dogs did shit in the United States.
Nope.
And the only person telling the story is Chico.
Yep.
You ain't got not one verifier out there.
Nobody from overseas say anything about them dogs.
Nobody. Bruh, nobody.
They claim they're global champions. Ain't nobody globally talking about them. They're only talking about them in the United States.
And why did he come back here to sell that shit?
This the state where this the country where you sell it all at. Sell all your products.
Right. Here come the salesman, the evolution salesman. Chico's a good salesman. He's a good salesman. Why didn't Stone City say something? Remember? Y'all remember Douglas Brown's show? I made that statement. Why Stone? There's something wrong with this because I know Jesse. Yeah. And I know Tone. How are they letting these dudes do that and they ain't saying nothing? What's going on here? And guess what it was? Jesse actually admitted it on the show with me and him and Dougie that the dudes who do the financial part for Evolution is his cousin.
That.
Oh, I knew there was a link to this shit. I knew it was. I knew it was. This is how we got this dog of the year shit. This is how we got this awesome beast shit. This is how we got PR Destroyer, who's another Stone City dog.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Not to say, if you look at day matches and look at the kennels, hey, the only one that don't fit the profile is Macho Buck. Go look at all the rest of those dogs in their matches, bro. Remember, they ain't owned by Stone City, or they ain't had nothing to do with none of that. Awesome Beast, none of that. They ain't got nothing to do with Stone City. Them was brothers there. They ain't Latinos. PR Destroyer was. But when you look down there and look at those dogs, go look at their matches.
Yep.
You will see that they earned their work because they wasn't part of the scheme. The only one that didn't fit the profile was Macho Buck. And y'all can't really tell me Macho Buck produced anything. He produced a nice dog, but he's not no ROM.
Nope.
I'm trying to tell you.
Now, Brother G Test say those people overseas know how to keep their mouth shut, and Americans, unlike Americans. But see, that's false because the thing is, the man with the dog is running his mouth. The man who got the global champions is running his mouth. Now, we know about Crow the dogs. We know about Ship. We know about all these other dogs.
We know about Black Rock. We know about the Belline Club. We know about the Cadenas. You're talking to a dog man here. I will fill your ears with some shit.
About them dogs.
That is not a true statement. You don't got to talk about it. You can be about it and see your dogs winning. Because they will step over the border to show you some shit. Why are you going to have a dog that's sitting overseas doing some shit, yet you want to sell your puppies here? Yet your puppies get here and can't do shit. They ain't great as the ones that you producing. These dogs you claim he produced. Why he ain't producing like Mayday in other people's hands?
Hey, tell me one European dog man who posted a champion or anything like that that's got any of them dogs in the pedigree. The fuck coming off of them in the pedigree by itself. Crow the dogs, none of them dogs. None of them
None
foreign
of them.
dogs you see have any of his blood in it. So if it's a global champion, wouldn't you think it'll be somewhere globally with folk getting the dogs using them? Who using them?
Especially coming out of Mexico, the way that Eli, that you know, that Mexican Eli came up out of there. You know what I'm saying? And you got Macho Buck doing all this dog of the year international shit. But where is those dogs' pedigrees? Where is they producing that? Are you telling me they did all this in Mexico and really couldn't produce shit? They couldn't produce for Mexico? Because they probably would be pretty famous in Mexico the way the story where you got it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, why you think your shit supposed to be? I mean, look, Black Rock is in Mexico. Well, look at they shit. You know, there's no doubt that you know that they was winning, and there's no doubt that they should come over here and win too.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what we getting out of Chico. We getting a story. And it's not the fact that it's just Chico's story. It's the fact that we can never get no verification of his story.
Okay, now if Garner say, okay, I got global champions, or this or global this, or this, okay, now you got brothers over there in Europe that's using them Garner dogs, and you see them because they posting them. Who you see posting the Chico dogs from Europe?
Because he never have them. Them dogs wasn't.
Only
Dude
America.
wasn't doing nothing with them dogs. The dude wasn't doing nothing with them dogs. All that shit was a story, bro. You're right. I mean, when you go asking yourself and really start asking yourself, don't try to make him different than everybody else. Put him in the same category as everybody else that was able to do their shit, know their shit, and still produce their shit, and the story keeps lining up. We don't have a up the track shit like Chico did.
Mm-hmm.
He came over here and was able to sell a bunch of damn dogs off the track.
Yep. Global champion. You don't see nobody globally using them. He the only one making the champions off of them.
And he wasn't even making them champion. He was lying about that.
Yep. That's what I would figure.
Because the shit was working. And look, I caught him in too many things, bro. You don't know. I mean, all the things you heard me say about Chico, you notice Chico never said nothing back about me? Never.
Mm-hmm. And he be watching these videos.
You already know. If there was anybody out there that could hurt him, remember that goddamn grand champion, Toby Rom? Supposed to be a Mayday dog, but he was black. And I go through the dog pedigree there. Where does the black come from? Explain that. Yep. And he's supposed to be off for Awesome Mayday, who's supposed to be a champion, that's the dog that lost that night that he got arrested down there in North Carolina. See, these are stories y'all don't know about.
Nope. I got to get you up here and we talk about it sometime.
Oh, yeah. But these are the stories that, man, all of us didn't die off. And I don't think there's too many people out there that was fortunate enough to really get around and get out there like I was playing around. I mean, I was having fun. Mm-hmm. And I've seen a lot. And remember, these are my lines of dogs that I was messing with during the time, so I know everybody. Everybody. You know, then when Chico seen that, the next day that pedigree disappeared. And he tried to get rid of it because I tried to bring it back up, but he left something there to show the remnants to what I was talking about. It was still there. I was able to show everybody. In 24 hours, he had to be watching me because he took it down. Now, why would he take that down? Because he'd been busted. Awesome Mayday was not no champion. He lost the night he got taken.
Mm.
He lost 3 dogs that night when he got arrested, and they took the dogs, and he never got them back. It was 2 males and a female. But he never said that story. He tried to come up with this Toby Rom Grand Champion International Dog of the Year. And called him, and he was a black dog. And his name was under the Gooseman. Gooseman, that's why you heard me say Gooseman. Yeah, they use that name too.
So if you
to present their shit.
Yeah. If you see that, that's them too. Guzman.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay.
So that's this the kind of bullshit that goes on that they think that nobody know, and the ones that do know, I'm not Latino. But I was around enough of them. I knew them all of them. Missing Link, everybody. Why? Because I was matching dogs. They were matching dogs. Evolution wasn't matching dogs. Chico wasn't matching dogs. They were.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I get on them like I get on them, because they're only taking advantage of the not knowing. When you're green and you want to have a good dog, you're easily deceived.
Yep.
And you ready to defend a motherfucker that don't even know what the fuck he's talking about because you thought he did. Until a real motherfucker walk through the door.
I try to get him.
I don't want to argue with nobody like me, because I can tell you stuff because I was there. And when it comes to Fat Bill, I moved around more than Fat Bill. You got around Fat Bill, but remember, I'm the one that was running around with the people that was kicking your ass. You just didn't like it. You see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Why you got hollering about what the fast lane was? Okay, yeah. You don't want to talk about that fast lane, a group of guys.
Yeah.
Because he had everybody else fooled. No, when I come in and start telling the truth about the story, now he wants to get mad, but it was all the truth. All that great shit got stopped when the fast lane came through there. What you want to call us then, being you lost to these motherfuckers with your 7-time and 6-time and 5-time winner? What you want to call them? What you want to call them? We giving you a little love being the fast lane because that's what they were. So what you want to call these dogs to kick your ass? And they wasn't 6 or 7-time winners. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So how you gonna get mad at me for telling the truth?
Hey, you can't get mad, man.
Okay, I don't leave you no room. You just hate the fact that I've been around to know that. Everybody ain't supposed to know that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't like it being put in your face because you done pumped yourself up. You see what I'm saying? And the true person that he is, I would have got deeper in his ass because I know personal things about him. You don't want to play with us.
Yeah.
So it just, when you deal with guys, it's just, when I say we were playing in a thing that my love for this shit is real. It's real. I make jokes about being on California Jack's yard, and most guys would talk about California Jack like he's Tom Gardner or something. Well, goddamn, I was on that man yard. I told you, man, walking around the yard barefoot and stepping in dog shit like it wasn't shit. House full of snakes.
Damn.
Nastiest craziest shit I ever seen in my life. I had a chance to bring Katana home that day. That day, I could have bought Katana home, but I refused to take anything off that yard.
Dang.
Bullshit, you're not. And that same weekend, we hung out. We had pictures of 9 Millie. I got pictures of her now. We just went around. We went and saw Racco, Emmett, Retard. We just seen them all. Sparky. And that weekend, and the craziest shit that I saw in that whole weekend was California Jack shit.
They won?
Huh? California Jack, his dogs, his house, his shit. It was crazy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I ain't never seen nobody walk around and walk through a yard and be stepping in dog shit and scooting your feet in the damn sand and dirt like it, that ain't nothing but dog shit.
Shit. Damn.
Fucking me up, bro. Do you hear me? This shit just fucked me up, man. I already got a phobia about dog shit anyway, but to see a motherfucker step in that shit and just move it around like it wasn't shit, I got a little shit on feet. You know what I'm saying? That fucked me up, bro.
Hey, he a little too much dog, man.
Oh, he way out there. I gotta give it to him on that one. I had to give it to him, bro. But it was sick enough for me to not want nothing on that yard because the smell was just as bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't just that; it was the smell, and then I have a house full of snakes too. Evidently, his nose is trained, not to smell that shit. You know, but
Mm-hmm.
mine wasn't. Mm-mm. It was the craziest shit that I saw while I was there. But I've seen a lot, but I've seen everybody. But he was the most interesting. He gave me all his, I had an opportunity to I got all his little books and shit he did. He made my Kindle partner, he made him pay for his shit though. you know, no, I know twins. No, I know twins. But he definitely, you know what I'm saying? But my Kindle P is the key factor of everything that has to do with us.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything. But no, I don't know him like I know you though. So yeah, he got to pay. And you didn't have to buy none of that shit. We could have took my shit and copied it, but you just wanted to have you some California Jack with his signature on it. Go ahead and pay for it.
You know how that go.
Yeah,
Hey,
when they got money, they don't everything. They quick to whip out $1, $100 like it ain't shit. When you broke like us, and we trying to, we thrive for our hunts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
We thrive. I'm telling you, more people made more money off of me than I did.
Damn. Damn. Now, what question y'all was asking down there? Y'all saying something about a question, but Bobby keeps saying something about Walkmore bought some dude named Jared Davis dogs, but he the boys ain't buy him a man dogs because I've been around the boys all my life, and the boys had the same dogs they had since the 90s. I'm not gonna say they didn't buy one of his dogs or something like that, but they must have hit it. I'm not gonna say they didn't, but you got to come up here and tell the story, bro. You can't type when you typing it. It's no credibility behind typing something. You got to tell the story. I'm not saying you're not telling the truth. I'm not saying you're not telling the truth, but you got to be willing to stand behind what you typing. You know what I'm saying?
But what's the problem if he did? I bought dogs from other people.
Yeah, yeah.
There's nothing wrong with big kennels like that. We need other people's dogs when we want to step out, and that's a privilege to be able to see a kennel like Walkmore wanting somebody else's shit that ain't big as them or good as them. That's a privilege, you know what I'm saying? So there's nothing wrong with it. But when you tell the story, make the story where we all want to hear it and not argue about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. That's why I
They
say,
come
man.
in with that herd shit, and that shit don't never work.
Mm-hmm. That's why I say, man, damn, these stories, man, it's like it's no reason to argue about it. You know what I'm saying? Get up there and tell your story, and that it just is what it is.
Yeah.
If somebody was there with you, they can say, "Oh, whether you telling the truth or not." But other than that, I mean, hey, man, you gotta listen to it. You can't knock what a brother, what kind of story a brother giving you until you be willing to get up here and give a brother a story or tell something about how it went down, in your days. Like I said, no knock to none of my brothers that be in the chat or my sisters, but it's easy to chat a dog story than get up here and tell a dog story. You know what I'm saying? Because when it comes to lying and telling the truth, you can't tell who lying and who telling the truth. It's really when you texting. You can't tell it when you talking on a thing, but if a brother telling the truth, he can just come off the dome with it. You don't have to stutter or study anything. You just come off the dome with it. And just like what the brother was saying about Michael Myers, if there's any truth to anything with it, you come off the dome with it. You don't have to no stuttering, no nothing. If you know anything about it, so to the brothers that be, in the chat, and I always welcome brothers to come up here and talk, man. I'll sit back and don't say nothing. It's just, I'm not gonna knock your story, dog, because I'm not the one to knock it. The United States is so big, man. There's so many different stories. You never, you can't knock nobody's story.
Right. The thing about Michael Myers, the girl had Michael Myers. If you know the girl gonna tell you if she went and won number 3 with Michael Myers. See, we know she won 2.
Yeah.
The question is, we never heard about the third one.
Yeah.
That's the problem. No, Miles Kent didn't do it.
Yeah.
You know, because but the thing is, in a lot of these stories, is so many years so far back that some people would think that no time has passed and it's on an irrelevant that not too many people are there to question the bullshit that they'll bring to the table. So you have some out there that'll try it. You know what I mean? And like I said, I was away from the game a long time, and when I came back and seen what Chico was doing, I was laughing at everybody. Like, I can't believe he got this shit off like he did. But a whole lot of shit changed on Chico when I got out there.
Yeah.
He wasn't. He got back down. He got into a basement thing. He kept sticking his head out there. Now he's sneaking around. Because all I did is ask the questions. Why is y'all up here listening to this dude when y'all need to be listening to Evolution? They the ones taught him this shit. And if you go back and do your homework on Evolution, you're gonna see what I'm talking about when it comes to Chico. They were all salesmen. All of them.
Evolution told me he don't deal with Chico like that no more.
They fell out. He used to work for Chico. Used to work for him. Chico was to be the man on the yard. How you think Chico got around Mayday and all those dogs, bro?
Yeah, he was telling me because see, I did a video a while back about Macho Buck, and I was claiming, I was saying Chico was the owner of it. Evolution. Me and him ended up talking probably that next night or something like that about the dog, and he was telling me Chico ain't got nothing to do with that Macho Buck shit. You know what I'm saying? He know that when Chico's in New York working or doing whatever he was doing, and how he, like you just said just a second ago, he used to stay with him and things like that, and how Chico played it grimy with Macho Buck and try to take him down to Mexico and do something with him, with far as the breeding wise and him being sterile or something like that, and Chico trying to say, man, Chico was just trying to do so much dirty stuff when it came to Macho Buck.
Yeah, he said they had frozen semen on him.
So them boy, he said he ain't fucking with Chico.
But guess what, bro? He exposed Chico, right? But wouldn't accept the responsibility that he created Chico.
That's why I'm about to say he created Chico. You created him. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're right.
You know how that go. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of guys, they ready to chop your head off when you say that. You can't chop mine off. I'm here to help. I was there.
Yeah.
I have proof that I was there. Go pull my shit up. I'm all over they shit. I had dogs right off of Macho Buck. Sure did. Right off of him. He was a chocolate motherfucker. Sold him up into Ohio. He was game as shit. Beautiful body. But he wasn't a match dog. And that's why I got rid of him. I had Sarah Kell. I got her right next to Brat, knowing ain't no dog gonna get off the chain and kill this dog. I'm gonna put her by Brat. They gotta get past Brat to get her. And it turns out the reason why she wasn't having no puppies because she was so I guess in such a because Sarah Kell was cold. She didn't fight no dogs. And I got her next to Brat, and she had what they call trauma. They said that she wouldn't have no puppy because as soon as I got rid of her, they turned around and took a male I bred to Nico Jr., bred to Sassy. They took a male over that and bred to Sarah Kell and had puppies right after I got rid of her.
Damn.
And they told me the dog was in trauma because you had her next to Brat. Brat was always trying to get her. That's why you couldn't get no puppies out of her. But as soon as she left my yard, she came in heat, she had puppies. And she was on my yard a whole year and a half, and I couldn't get shit out of her. I was gonna beat her to Buck Rogers. I was gonna beat her to May too. She just never came in heat for me to breed her.
Damn.
But I knew all the evolution of little shit, man. I used look. You in Texas? Ain't evolution in Texas?
Mm-hmm.
Ain't Dead Serious in Texas?
I ain't sure about that.
Yep, Dead Serious Kennels is in Texas. The ones that had banjo and all them.
Oh yeah.
Mark Davis. Yeah, Mark Davis, Mad. All that's Texas.
Yeah.
The Plowboys, the Wall Boys, Big Thicket, all them Texans. All them Texans. All them Magic Dogs. Thunder Kennels, Texas. My question was, why didn't evolution ever match into any of those dogs? Any of those kennels? When those kennels would have loved to beat Mayday dogs. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yep. Same area too.
Same area. That was my question. You know, we went down there and went in the Big Thicket when we took and beat Mallory, that 4-time winner. So it wasn't like they didn't mess with black folks, because we was up north. We was from Florida when we went down over there to Texas. Deep South did that move. The Mallory was a 4-time winner, and Trini wasn't nothing but a 1-time winner, and went in there and stopped there in 20 minutes. And this dog was going for a grand championship. But we had to go to Texas to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Texas is big now. Texas is big though.
All the way down to L.
You broke up on me just now, twin. I can't hear you, big dog. Y'all can hear Twin. I can't hear him. Twin, I can't hear you, bro. You went out on me just now. Big salute to the brothers in the chat, man. Big salute to the brothers in the chat. You know, let me see, man. Bobby, man, you gotta get up here and talk some dog talk, man, one night, man. You say you know a lot of people. Mr. 216. Yes, sir, man. I appreciate all the brothers rocking with the Bay tonight. You know what I'm saying? Had a brother GHK in the building, holding it down, representing with me, man. Yeah, Floyd Mayweather ain't touched the ring yet. They got them first fights on right now. Well, I guess this the last one before Mayweather come out. Mark Lamar, what's going on with you, big homie? Yes, sir, man. Bobby, stay with you, man. I tell you, dog, you gotta hit me up in Messenger or either Instagram Messenger or Facebook or something, because you gotta tell some of those stories, bro. You don't gotta tell nothing. But you know, like I said, we could do it pre-recorded or we can do it live, whichever way you want to do it. Pre-recorded, that way I can edit it and cut something out if need to be cut out. Hey, appreciate you dropping in tonight, Mark Lamar, man. Appreciate you dropping in tonight. I'm glad I stayed on long enough for you to drop in, bro. You know what I'm saying? Glad I stayed on long enough. And like I said at the beginning of the show, man, happy birthday to Fat Bill. Fat Bill birthday today. Wish you many more, big homie. Wish you many more. And hope the Lord allow me to bless me to make it to your age. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir, man. Many more, many more. And like I said, happy birthday to any dog man out there who had a birthday over the past year, or I mean, not year, damn, over the past week. My fault. Over the past week, past couple weeks, or their birthday coming up in the next week or so, and I may not know you. Happy birthday to you, man. You know what I'm saying? Happy birthday to you. A lot of brothers ain't make it to see theirs, man. You know. Scatterbread in the house for sure, my brother. Scatterbread definitely in the house, man. Supreme Excellence in the building. What's going on with you, Supreme?
Here, I should be in there.
Man, I don't know what happened, man. I couldn't hear you, and then you just fell off.
Oh, I'm sorry, bro. I guess I was in another room. I got out of the signal. So I don't even know where I left off at, bro. But I think I was talking about Mayday and the things that happened when Mayday left Florida. You know what I'm saying? And how things changed. You know, you add up all the dogs that Mayday produced right there in Florida, the champions and the winners. And then he breeds more. He has more dogs coming off of Mayday when he get to Ecuador, but had nowhere close to the champions and dogs like Barracuda and Lou Kane and Brad. He didn't have, and Chanel. He didn't have no Maymays. He didn't have those kind of dogs coming out of Ecuador no more. But they're all supposed to be coming off of Mayday. You see that? On top of the fact that when he left Miami, it was 13 of us that didn't have puppies off of Mayday that was bred to him. I was one of them. And my bitch, I had two bitches bred to him. I had my bruiser bitch bred to him. She caught Babesia. I didn't know that she had Babesia until I got her home. I left Brat because it was obvious Brat was sick. And I was not taking Brat off that yard sick. I don't know why my dog is sick, but he better be ready to give up Mayday if that bitch die on that yard.
So let me ask you this: ain't none of the brothers or the white brothers talk to Victor since Mayday and all that stuff, like over the last 10 years, last 15 years, to ask him what really happened with this stuff with Mayday and stuff?
Well, I don't think, because Victor doesn't talk good English, that I don't think that he ever gave anybody the opportunity to question him. He's over in Ecuador. Why? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he still, regardless whether he is an Ecuadorian or Latino, he's still a Latino. They're gonna look out to each other.
Yeah.
Because, like, remember, Victor had made it in Ecuador when he went to breed to Blondie, Yellow Buck's Little May's sister. When they made the Mayday Stone City breeding, that was Mayday bred to Blondie, Yellow Buck's sister. Now wait a minute, y'all gonna make that breeding, right? Yet I'm still talking about the 13 bitches that you left in the United States that didn't have puppies off of Mayday, that was paid for and bred to, that did not have puppies. And you left with Brat because Brat was sick and she didn't have puppies. It took him almost 8-9 months and Brat came back to me pregnant. Now, here's the question that I had. I always wondered if Maytu was off a Mayday. I never pushed it, but I never got over that 13 dogs, including Brat, that was bred. Because I had two pictures of Brat, several pictures of the first time Victor bred to Mayday and she didn't get pregnant. And then the second time, that's the second time that y'all see on the show. That's the second time, but she's in Ecuador with Victor by then. The first time we were in Miami. You know what I mean? So he was bred to Mayday. Remember, Brat's mother was bred, she was in Miami. When we took Brat down there and Apache down there, we took them to Miami. Apache came back, but I didn't know she had babesia. Brat was sick. Like, no, my bitch died. I'm coming back to get Mayday. I'm not playing. Because she wasn't like this when I gave him to y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No motherfucking way I'm taking this dog out the yard. But I swear to God, Victor, if something happened to my dog, you might as well get ready to give up Mayday. I'm not playing. I don't care how gangster you want to go with that.
Yes, sir. I feel you on that.
He kept her and he sent her back pregnant. And I always wondered because of that. But this is what happened. It happened after I got rid of Maytu. I never had Maytu. Remember, I wasn't into the sperm thing. I really didn't know nothing about it. But the boys who got Maytu, my little protege, took him to sperm bank and they had started drawing semen off of it, packing it away. I did a DNA profile not too long ago to get to the ADBA, and they gave him his profile, right? But the question that I wanted to answer to was Brett and Maytu, did they have the same father? And that DNA profile would be able to tell you that.
Yep.
That was the question I asked, and that's the answer that I got. And I was on the phone. I did this on the phone. My man called the people, and they didn't even have to say his name. All he did is say his name, my protege's name, and then they the ones that said Maytu. You know what I'm saying? And they was the one, because I was the original owner that Maytu, and I just wanted to know about his DNA profile. And his DNA profile said that Brat and Maytu had the same sire. So in them 8 months that Victor was in Ecuador with Brat, and knowing that I have puppies off of Mayday, in Ecuador is the only way she could have got pregnant, in Ecuador with Victor. Then 8 months, somehow Mayday was producing puppies. But by the time Maytu and them was produced, right? By the time Maytu got here, you know what I'm saying? These dogs Maytu was not older than the Stone City dogs. He was younger.
Okay. Damn.
So by the time Victor and them bred Blondie to Mayday, it was like almost a year and a half after Maytu was born, like about a year. I would have to say like a year. And there was no puppies. Everybody, I thought that he was breeding to Mayday Jr. because Mayday Jr. looked just like him. You couldn't even tell them apart. There's certain characteristics that made his head was so big. And when you look at him from the side, he looked like Barracuda. It looked like they got that sharp pointed head. But you look at him from the front, they got these big ass heads with a whole lot of gummy mouth. If you look at Brat's mouth and look at her head from the side, she looked like she got a pointed head. But if you look at the front of her, you look at her, you're going to see that she got a big ass mouth with a whole lot of gum in her jaws.
And Victor owned that dog too?
Huh?
Victor had owned that dog too?
Who's that?
The Mayday Junior dog.
Yeah. He was on the yard. Yeah, he looked just like Mayday. Looked just like him. I felt like that's who he was breeding the dogs to. I said a lot of them dogs are coming off of Mayday Jr. because he looked just like Mayday. Because I just didn't believe Mayday, how you leave 13 dogs here and all of a sudden you're back to having puppies again. I know he took them to some universities and all that shit, but when he took them to them universities and had Mayday sperm check, that's why Mayday ain't got no straws on it.
Yeah, that's crazy there now.
Case closed. More proof.
But
You
Chico
see
said
what I'm saying?
Chico said he had straws off of.
That was a lie. I
That
said
that what he claimed.
Mayday was sent to a university, and they could not save his nuts.
Yeah.
That's why Mayday never had straws put on him, because he had no sperm. See, again, another lie being told, because he would think nobody actually out there knew the truth. Well, I'm not Latino, but I know all their business because I ran with all of them.
Now
I know the
ask
deep down stories.
brother Bobby Stapleton. Now, see, we gonna need you to get up here and tell some of these dog talk you're talking about, because now your story is starting to contradict with stories we heard brothers get up here and say already. See, you say Mayday was born in Miami, but we got a brother that got up here and told his dog story, and he said Mayday was born at David Tant house. So if you can get up here and tell your story, my brother, we don't mind. But your text is starting to contradict what brothers done got up here and spoke about already. You know what I'm saying? Unless you was asking was Mayday born in Miami, you can switch it up real quick, and say you was asking. But as far as saying he was, I'm not saying he wasn't, but I'm saying we had a brother who was up here who's saying Tant
He was.
and Mr. Hollingsworth had problems about the litter, and whether they did or whether they didn't, he was still born at Tant house or Mr. Hollingsworth house. One or the other. Unless Mr.
But
Hollingsworth.
did y'all know Wildside had him too?
No, I didn't know that.
Yes. Yes. Victor did not get Mayday off of David Tant's yard, y'all. He got him off of Wildside's yard. That's where Madonna ended up, and that's how Madonna got away. Madonna, she ended up in Ohio, and then she started moving around. But Carl Mims had Mayday in them when Victor got him, not David Tant. And the reason the argument came up because Mr. Hollingworth was getting out of dogs. Remember, Mayday and them was the last dogs. Didn't nobody want them. Mr. Hollingworth got sick. He had to get rid of the dogs. California Jack, he went after Poncho and them. He didn't want the yellow stuff. That's why he ended up, he got a chance to pick before he picked over Mayday and them. Yeah. California Jack had an opportunity to take Mayday in them, and he didn't take Mayday in them. He took the Poncho dogs. The dogs that didn't have yellow in them. And so Victor ended up, Mr. Hollingworth was so sick that Mr. Mims had those dogs. And Victor got those dogs from Mr. Mims, even though he got them from Mr. Hollingworth. He picked them up from Mr. Mims. People didn't know that. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, Wildside had Mayday in them too. And Mr. Hollingworth had gotten so sick that didn't nobody take on those dogs. Victor, they was the last dogs that Mr. Hollingworth had. And it wasn't like he was trying to keep them. Didn't nobody want them.
Damn.
And Victor had just left the Latin boys and had an opportunity to get his hands on them, and he ended up buying all of them, all the puppies, everybody but Madonna. But he got all the puppies in Dolly.
But I'll tell you what, though. I ain't sure, we can say what come off Mayday or what don't come off Mayday. But a lot of them dogs out there, you can see Mayday in all them dogs. Whether it's something about Mayday you can see in them. You know what I'm saying? And like,
they got a characteristic that here's the thing about Mayday dogs. There's a genetic gene in those dogs that is almost like a implant on dogs coming off of him, and you're gonna always find it on the chest and the neck.
Now I will say this: you put Big John and you put Mayday side by side. Mayday got more characteristics. I think he's more of a prepotent type dog, far as looking wise. Because right now today, you can look at a dog, look, he or she look like Mayday. You know, and Big John, he make great dogs, but it just don't got that look far as
Because he took Yellow's look. He took Yellow's look. He did. Big John looked like Yellow, man.
And Mayday took the Hollisworth look.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
White feet, the red, all that.
Yeah.
The Big John, and he threw dogs that look like Yellow. He threw Yellow dog like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mayday, you can see the buck in those dogs. You can see the Patrick Tater in those dogs.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's you're right about that. That's for damn sure.
Mm-hmm. Dang on yeah, man.
Look at Dirty Mary. Dirty Mary is bred down there like the Hollandworth shit.
Talk about Boyle's Dirty Mary?
Yeah. Yeah, you look at her and then look at Twisted in them and then go pull up their pedigree.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yes, sir.
You ever ran some of that Dirty Mary stuff?
Me, I had some. I had, Thug Life in them. I had them on my show. Gotta Eat. We had a lot of us they were getting into trying to breed Boyles into the Mayday. Wacko into the Mayday. Remember we did. Champion Skins is Wacko bred into a bitch off of Mayday. See, we were doing that.
Man, what line you thought or you felt like was the shit, or either was the shit before you touched that Mayday stuff? But when you touch that, you probably be like, oh, I can't deal with this, Or what was you dealing with before you was dealing with that yellow stuff and that Mayday stuff?
I had dogs when I first got in the dog, I had dogs right off of a son and a daughter to Molly B, bred to Snooty. Those are the first dogs I got from Atlas Brewer and James Edwards. Atlas gave me dogs off of Smeller, and James Edwards gave me a dog named Judo, who was off of Champion Red Lady, bred to Champions. I mean, not Champion. I think it was Sonic. I know he was a son. His mother and father they were brother and sister. Snooty was the daddy, and Molly B was the mama. So they was double bred Snooty, double bred Molly B. And he became a two-time winner. Them were the first dogs. And the dogs that I got off of Atlas was off of Smeller, who was off of Snooty. And he was off of Levi. And the guy, James Powell, the one I'll be talking about, Sheriff Powell, the guy that took me there, he was the instrument to make that happen. Now, remember, I'm sitting up there with Atlas Brewer and James Edwards, like he was talking about earlier, great dog, man. And I don't even know what the hell these dudes is. They just two white dudes to me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not knowing, until I leave North Carolina and get up north, who these guys really were and how important they was to the game. And when they seen my pedigree, James Pope, he's the first one that actually pointed all this shit out to me because I didn't know. All I knew is I saw a dog that I saw on Atlas Brewer's yard, on James Pope's yard. And I said, I've seen that dog before. He said, where you see that dog at? I said, I seen this dog in Atlas Brewer's yard. That dog, he got a blue eye, and that dog, his name was Blue. And Pope said, that's him, because that's what his name is. I got him from Atlas Brewer. I said, I told you, I knew I seen that dog. And then I showed him my papers, and he knew then where I came from. And I showed him all the papers. I didn't know how to read papers or nothing. The dude was so excited, he pulled me under the ring and taught me how to read them motherfuckers.
Dang.
And taught me how important it was. He introduced me to Snake Man, Abernathy, Mr. Abernathy, Kimsey Woods. This is how I knew. Remember, I had dogs coming off of Shirley too before there was ever a Bosco to produce Blackjack. So I had Amber's little mate brother, because Pope is the mug who bred Blackjack's mama. He produced Blackjack's mama, Amber, off of Shirley to Bosco. I had a litter mate in that litter. It was Pope that made that breed, not Mr. Abernathy, Pope.
Where they got Abernathy down?
Yeah, they be having, some of them have it as Abernathy's, as being a breeder.
Yeah, I seen Abernathy.
And then some of them, you will have Kenzie Woods and Pope. You'll see Woods and Pope on Shirley. But Pope, I had dogs off of Shirley before all that.
Yeah.
Before all that, when it was just Pope, I had Dusty. She lost. She lost, went 205. She got there on the count of 10. She was just getting ready to hit the dog. At 11, she hit, but it was like 205. But that was when I was learning, B Crest, or one of them old school dudes beat me because I didn't know what I was doing. I could have been handling my dog. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know that back then. You know what I mean? A lesson I had to learn.
Yep. Now let me ask you. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, bro.
I was about to say, because I know about that Big John stuff, and but when it comes to the Mayday stuff, how do I stay away from the skin problems? Where does that come from? When it comes, is it the Mayday or just the Barracuda?
It's the Barracuda.
So most of the other Mayday dogs really haven't had problems with skin problems.
Well, on Barracuda had a funny coat, man, and it was weird because they get that skin disease and start getting them patches and scabs and shit.
Yeah.
That was Barracuda. If you notice how wrinkled Barracuda's legs were.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's that disease. That was that shit. And as he got older, it got worse. That's why he started looking like a hound dog.
Mm.
See, Barracuda didn't used to look like that. The older he got, the more his face started dropping. You start seeing it. You see how up under his eyes, how far down the bottom lid had dropped.
Yep.
In his face. That's from all that time, man. The dog has been fighting all his damn life, to be honest.
Yeah.
And for him to be, for him to look like he looked after winning 9 matches, and 4 of them was off the chain for big money. You know what I'm saying? But they were really matches, but they were off the chain because you didn't record them and y'all was just pulling them off the chain. Yeah. But Barracuda stayed in shape because they was hunters.
How long he lived? Or you know, right offhand?
Barracuda in that picture y'all looking at, Barracuda was 9 years old. That picture you're looking at with him looking all droopy and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was 9 years old in that picture. I don't think he lived past 11.
And the other picture I had up on the screen when he was looking droopy, he had his mouth open.
He was 9 years old in that picture. There's a video of him that's related to that same picture of how he looked when he was 9 years old, shortly before he died. That was old. He was an old dog then. So his younger years, he still had that big ass head.
That low front end, that come from Hollingsworth side?
Yep. Yeah, because Mayday and them was wide. They wasn't all that big, man. They was wide.
Yeah.
They was stocky. That Patrick Tater put that shit into him. Do you know that Patrick Tater showed more than those Mayday dogs? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's what that was. That Patrick Tater look, but you could still see yellow there. You could see yellow in that mask. You know what I'm saying? But not in the color.
Yeah.
But the body structure, you could definitely see it was Tater, but you could also see yellow. That's why those legs was like, they weren't long, tall dogs, but they was long and short for their size, but they was wide as shit. And when you pulled them down, they was still thick as hell.
Now I can ask you this: if you had to pick between the two to start your yard, would it be yellow or Mayday?
It would be yellow.
Yellow.
I would have to go to yellow. because he's a grand champion. Remember,
Well,
remember the reason why we bred to Mayday, not only for the fact that that Mayday was, off of yellow, and remember I got Amber. Remember I have Amber. Amber was all Yellow John, and Yellow was one of the dogs in it, but he was part of a bunch of other Yellow John dogs. You
how,
pull up Amber's pedigree, you're gonna see all Yellow John, all
how,
Red Boy.
how she was?
Oh, we bought her out of the box. That's the bitch we bred. That was Brat's grandmother. That's the bitch we bred the grand champion ace that produced Brat's mother.
I bet she was something. A lot of Yellow John with just a little
Oh
bit
my God.
yellow.
We paid the dude's bill to get that bitch. She went into Champion Stormy, and Champion Stormy was killing her, but she couldn't kill her. She couldn't stop her. We was like, man, shoot, we'll pay everything to get that bitch if you pick her up. We'll pay all your shit if you just let us get her, and pick her up. And the dude said, okay, and picked her up, and we bought her. That's how we got Amber. I bought her out the box.
Dang.
And you know how she died? The vet told us that, that we needed to go ahead and just, her time was short because cancer took over a whole left side of her body. But Amber was such a bulldog. Don't euthanize her. We scratched her out, bro. I swear to God. Dang. We scratched that bitch out. Niggas cried when she took her last scratch. Dang. They cried when she took her last scratch. And this is on my mama. My mama gone, so I'm not bullshitting.
Yeah.
We cried when that bitch took her last scratch. Because that bitch scratched like a bulldog. Scratched like a bulldog. All the way through. All the way to the end. Fucked up body and all. We was being fair to her because we let her do what she wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? We let her do what she wanted to do. Her whole right side of her body swollen. So she couldn't do much. But it was the fact of what was going on in her head. She didn't know none of this. To her, it was bulldog time. And that's how she went out, like a bulldog. Never gonna see another. The only other dog I ever seen do that was that Jeep bitch I had, that triple bred Jeep bitch. She was 3 times off a Jeep. She did the exact same thing. She had 3 legs. When the man said that she was, her days were short, shit, we took Goldie and scratched Goldie out. Goldie died scratching too. I don't like putting my great dogs down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And believe me, I didn't let them get abused while they was doing what they doing. You know what I mean? Because they wasn't in no condition to be doing it. But to them, they didn't know no better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I knew what I was doing. And it was just the fact of being able to take a dog just like that and put him on the line and watch that motherfucker continuously come out. Like, it didn't even matter. Those were special dogs to me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And we were able to, I wasn't able to get shit out of that Jeep bitch, but I was able to get something out of that Amber bitch. And she's the nucleus of everything that we have in our yard. Everything that you see, you're gonna see Amber in it because she wasn't but 2 dogs that came all out of it. Red Ace produced Brat and Little Mayday. That was it. Them were the only 2 dogs. And so we were able to, and a lot of that gameness that's in our dog, we know where the back stifle shit come from because our dogs aren't like Mayday.
Yeah.
Mayday dogs don't fight the stifle. You see what I'm saying? These are stifle dogs. Mayday dogs aren't stifle dogs. Grand Champion Ace was a stifle dog. So we were able to maintain the gameness of the yellow shit. Knowing the Mayday shit is definitely the nut crazy case shit because Amber wasn't that goddamn crazy. Not to the point that she fought chains, dog houses, and pans and chewing on, regardless whether you put a concrete bowl out there, they gonna grab that motherfucker. It's just they're hard to maintain. And if they ain't biting on shit, they digging shit. And that was the only thing that we seen that we saw, and they looked like Mayday. Our whole yard was red nose. We had very few dogs that we were getting that had the black mask. Most of our whole litters were red nose. You know, so it was like that was that Amber. Amber was a red nose. Red Ace was a red nose. Brat was a red nose. You know, you start looking through our yard of dogs, you're gonna see they were all red nosed dogs. I had a yard full of red nose. Very few black nose mask dogs. But they weren't Mayday dogs. They had Mayday in them, but I put it like this: the best ones, gamers never got checked. There was nothing there to check their gamers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There was nothing ever there to be able to detect their gamers. And this went for not just the ones that was on our yard, but guys that had dogs after us. You know, they had to. Some of them had to run into it where they had to show their true gamers, where it was proven that, you know, that line of dogs, you know, had the ability to be game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but the majority of their matches, they were knocking dogs out from the stifle attack. And when I say they were stifle attack, trust me, Red Ace was a stifle dog, and she was a very good one. Even though we lost the time in Puerto Rico, it didn't change the fact that what she produced made a big difference because you only had 2 puppies, Brat and Little Mayday. Little Mayday got stolen, but he had 2 puppies.
That number 2. Hey, twin, man. Hey, I appreciate you rocking with me tonight, man. I think I'm gonna go ahead and shut it on down, man.
Yes, sir, man. That was good talking with you, bro.
Hey, I appreciate you, bro. You got some stories, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I gotta have to get back up with you, man, because you got some stories. You know what I'm saying? And like I told these brothers, man, never knock what another brother's story is. If y'all brothers in the chat want to tell you a story, get up here and tell you stories. We're not gonna knock you. We're gonna sit back and listen to you. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is, man. That's what it's all about. Telling your story, man. Telling your story, man. And like I said, man, I appreciate it. Salute to all the dog, man. Y'all brothers have a good night. Y'all brothers stay safe out there, man. Y'all brothers stay legal out there, you know. And remember, everything we talk about is for historical purposes. And nobody ain't living like that now, man. Y'all stay safe.
That's right.
Yes, sir. PBK9's Going Hard